How's it going, YouTube? My name is AJ Pickard, and welcome to my garage. Today I am getting started on this 1966 Ford F100. It has a inline 6 300, or however you want to say it, 300 inline 6. I love this truck, and I'm pretty excited to get cracking on it. I've already kind of started on it, as you can see, with some of the shoddy work. We're going to really clean it up, make it look a lot nicer. I pulled the bed off because it was just a nightmare. I wanted to kind of get looking at how everything was looking underneath. We've got a lot of work here to do. I'm going to bring this whole truck down to the chassis and start clean. So full frame off restoration. You can see I still have some cab corners, some rust here and there. I'm thinking about replacing this whole rear end with something out of like a Lincoln Mark 8, like a late 80s Lincoln, so it can have a full independent rear suspension. I'm going to cut off this homemade bumper here. This is a step side, and it's a short step side, so it's a little bit shorter than, it's about 4 inches shorter than what you can get. You can order through LMC or something like that. So I got a brand new bed, but I'm gonna have to cut it down to fit and get the look that I want. So new wheels and tires will come, all new exhaust. The interior is empty. It's got a manual transmission. I'm probably gonna switch that out for automatic. I'm looking at maybe grabbing an AOD out of a early AOD 80s, like 81, 82. Redo this whole interior. This is my biggest pet peeve in the world. Somebody cut a hole for the dash, so I gotta fix, or for the radio, so I gotta fix that. These seats are really cool. They're out of a Ranger, like a 69 Ranger. And I got the brackets. I'm gonna get these recovered, but they're the same seats they had in the like a 68 Mustang. So, or the Broncos, the early Broncos. So it should be pretty easy. Let's get seat covers. Big old dent here. I gotta fix. Change out the mirrors. Gonna lower the whole truck quite a bit. Under the hood, so this hood needs replaced. I'm gonna replace that. There it is. Now, I'm really excited about this engine. It is a cool engine, and I think it'd be really easy to make it cool by dropping a V8 in there. But that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep this inline 6. I'm gonna rebuild it. I've got some new. I got a new head that's been all opened up. I've got a new Clifford intake. Replace the intake. I've got headers. I'm going to do one of those EFI throttle bodies, like Phytech, or I'm still researching, but the one I'm looking at right now is probably Phytech. And forged pistons, and do the works. Going to try and see if I can get 300 horsepower. I'd be happy with anything over 250. Do power steering, do power brakes, because that's not going to work. Disc brakes all the way around, and I'm really debating doing a turbo. So I'm looking at options of doing a rear-mounted turbo where I wouldn't have to build new exhaust manifold up here, but run all the exhaust out the back to right in here, run it straight, so run 2 into 1, and then from the 1 put a turbo instead of a muffler, have the wastegate and everything else, kick it, have the exhaust that comes out, kick it that way. But the cold, this would be your hot, come in here, and then run cold back up the front, and probably up this side here, and run it to a hat, right? The cool thing is, because the cold's got to run that whole length, you don't really need an intercooler. So it'll cool down by the time it gets up here. And I'm not looking at putting a ton of boost, you know, like 6 to 10, you know, and see what I can get out of her. But today, to get started, you know, I need to get this engine off to the shop. So I need to pull apart the whole front of this thing. So that's what we're going to work on today. All right, here we go. So it's been fighting me, but we're getting there. A lot of rust. So make sure when you take off your hood, you try and support it. This is a push broom. That is a mop. So, you know, if you don't have anybody to help you hold it, that worked for me. She is now done. And here, I just got to figure out. I've never taken apart one of these trucks before, so it's just really, you know, it's a puzzle. But we're getting there. So, here we go. Alright, so we're getting there. As you can see, there is just a grip of rust here. It's bad. And the guy I bought this from, he started working on it, and I was just crazy enough to say that I was interested in it. So, kind of a big mess, but you know, we're getting there. So, this all come off today. So now we got the fenders off. This one was already kind of halfway off, so it wasn't so bad. But this just had to cut in there because the bolt just was not coming for nothing. So just tacked the weakest part, all rusted out. The part of the core support here, just not even there, totally missing. And on this side, got it all out. What I noticed, besides this dent now, is that this part of the rocker or whatever is bent down, and this bolt won't come out. So there's some rust here. So we got some more stuff to contend with. I wasn't expecting, but now we're gonna try and get this core support off. Take everything off of here that isn't part of the engine. So all the wiring and I think this little bag here is pretty cool. But this one's all hard and crusty. I'll have to order a new one. But I'd like to get these inner fenders off and the core support. Look at this battery tray. Nasty. Alright, so fought me a little bit, but got the core support off. So now we're going to work on these inner fenders. Look at this thing. That battery just destroyed it. Everything up here was rusted, including the hood right there. But what I didn't realize was jacked up was that's not going to work. So now this is another thing I'm going to have to fix is the front of this frame rail here. So that's alright. I was going to cut out this front suspension anyway, so I'll have to get some more steel or go to the junkyard and cut that little bit out and weld it into this one. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Alright, well I think that is that for today. Got the whole front clip off. I still gotta deal with all these wires and everything, but I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna end up replacing all of them with brand new wires because I'm sure this truck's 52 years old, so I'm sure a lot of this is no good. I did run into some issues. This spool here snapped off and the stud's still in there. This is for the hood latch, and then the same bolt on the other side. Just, you know, gave me a little trouble. Looks like a bullet hole now, so we'll see. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fix that. I do have a whole nother cab that I'm going to take a look at, and maybe it's in better shape, because this one's this one's not looking too healthy. So yeah, so that's where we're at today. Well, stay tuned. Next episode I put up, I'm going to do get rid of all these wires and strip this down to the block so that I can take it off to the shop. All right, you guys have a good one.